I want to preface this by saying I have no idea what I'm talking about. I am exploring an idea and I'm struggling to grapple with exactly what that idea is, mainly because it's challenging my long held perception of something. And so, in order to make change happen, I want to talk about it. So, bear with me here. Basically, the the thing that I'm challenging is that not everyone, in terms of whenever I'm out and about in my daily life and I'm passing people, and when I'm getting food from the food line, whenever I'm passing a random student in the hallway, when I'm in the gym, when I'm opening a door for somebody, things like that. Anyone in like the service industry, you know what I mean. I act like I it takes so much energy to give them common decency, even if I don't like instantly connect with this person, which is for some reason something that my brain puts a boundary up with using or whatever. I act like it's so much effort, and it's this idea of this petty unwillingness to give people a smile, random people, and people I disagree with fundamentally. And I act like, well, I don't act like I do. I reserve my time and attention and energy for people in my life that I already care about a lot. And so I have this reserve, quote unquote, that I feel like whenever I pull out of, that gives me less time and energy to talk with these other people that quote unquote deserve my attention and time and effort. And so I'm challenging that it's not that way at all. I don't think that me withdrawing and me becoming reserved in public settings and talking with people randomly, I think it is a petty excuse and a petty argument to act like people don't deserve that common decency, which is really, really warped. And so that's why it's stressful for me to talk about it because it's hard to admit, especially whenever it's something that I used to pride myself on whenever I was a few years younger. I feel like I was good at it, of giving everyone some sort of common decency and living my life, smiling away. And I feel like now I just try to remain more stoic, more, um, just, yeah, more reserved. I keep a hard face on in public. And to be honest, I've been going through a lot of challenging things in the last month. And so I guess I got to take that into consideration, but I feel like there's a lot of times in my life where I'll be going through hard shit, and if I show up, for example, to work and I am meeting new clients and I'm talking to clients around the fence and important situations that have a lot to do with relationships, building and preserving relationships, I can't afford to show up and have my pouty face on or have my lack of emotion face on because I feel cool and I feel hard whenever I go out in public and I just stone face everybody. And it sometimes it's nice. Sometimes it's nice because nobody wants to talk to you. You don't have to interact with people intentionally, and it's only those people that don't care whether or not you want them to talk to you that come up to you. However, if you go out in public and you smile more often, and you even put on a fake smile, and you don't act like someone you're not, but you afford whatever minuscule even amount of happiness, positivity, or even just radiant good energy. If you put that out into the world, I feel like that effort is worth it. And that I shouldn't be reserving some kind of like happiness reserve inside of me so I can save it for myself later. Because that's what it feels like I'm doing. And that doesn't make any sense. Of course, if you put out into the world, it will give back. And so I I want to challenge that idea. Absolutely. I want to give people more common decency. I've been reading How to Win Friends and Influence People. And although some people may think that book is controversial, I think there's a lot of genuine dialogue in it. It comes from a genuine place of, and the author says, basically, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to put this out into the world. There's no reason. It's free. It costs you nothing except for maybe a little bit of energy, and who knows, that energy might even be less than the negative energy that you would be putting out otherwise. Less of a burden on you and everyone else. And it's that genuine place of wanting to give to others something that you could be giving all the time, and yet you choose not to. For why? For petty reasons. And that's it. That's so interesting. That's so interesting to me. I've been running recently. I've I've ran 3 different 6 milers, about a little more, a little less, in the past couple weeks. And wait, maybe 4? I don't know. But today I I started to pick up on some things, and I have been. But before, even just a year ago, whenever I would run, I would get so bogged down, and I would get so heavy whenever I would get tired. And whenever I got tired, I felt like I should feel exhausted, or else I'm gonna overexert myself, or I'm gonna hurt myself, or I'm gonna push myself too hard. And so now that I think about it, extremely counterintuitively, I would put in less effort, and my form would break down. And to a certain extent, it felt easier because that means my body was closer to giving up. And oftentimes I would quit. I would stop. I wouldn't go much further than 3.5 miles. And usually I would just run 5Ks. Um, and I honestly wasn't that fast. And now, whenever I want to give up, I know I have to get to that hour, and it gets hard by minute 30, you know? And I I realized, and I'm trying to apply this to what the dialogue was about earlier. I realized that the more effort I put in, the easier it got to keep going, which is interesting. When I focused up, when I focused up, and I made sure my form was good, I put energy into the muscles that needed it. I focused on taking deeper breaths, on lifting my knees higher, on getting more springing motion, if you want to say that, out of each step. You would think that if you're trying to get the maximum output out of every action, for example, like if you think you're, this is the way I used to think. Whenever I would breathe in, feel like I'm using more energy. I'm not going to go as long. I'm using more energy to breathe. I need to conserve energy, so I need to not breathe as hard. But it's the complete opposite. So whenever you breathe heavier, deeper, more relaxed breaths, obviously it fuels your body to a certain extent. These people are yelling outside. But it fuels your body with oxygen. And then not just that, but whenever your legs are getting sluggish, whenever you can lift your knees up higher, that makes the motion easier. That allows you to expend more outside of that. And so relating that to life and spreading positive energy around you whenever you feel like you're tired and you want to give up, keeping some kind of goal in mind and within the context of running, the goal being running for an hour at a certain speed, for example. And in the context of life, whenever you have a goal of anything, getting a good grade, uh, studying for an exam, uh, telling a girl you like her, anything of that nature, planning for a trip, right? And whenever life gets hard, in order to succeed, you keep that goal in mind. And whenever you get tired, whenever you don't want to get up, if you can focus on the form and on the things that fuel you, like oxygen does when you run, I like that mentality. Although in the moment it gets hard. It gets hard. Like, of course, when you get up in the morning, you tell yourself to put more effort. That advice is shit. I see that. Now this is why this dialogue is incomplete, because I'm like, how do I relate this to life? There's something there that comes with what I learned from running. There's got to be something there, but we'll figure it out. We'll get there. That's it.